That one thrown behind him. Arenado's going after him, and now we're going to fight at Coors Field. Padres have been hit the entire series, and Perdomo throws behind Arenado, and it's on.
Oh, what a wild day it was yesterday in Denver. Fireworks in yesterday's ball game, but the Padres able to win that series, taking 2 out of 3. We welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. Don Orsillo along with Mark Grant. Welcome to Padres baseball. Well, yesterday was quite a day for the Padres, and I guess the question is, what does that do for a team coming together like that?
Don, down in that clubhouse, it's a fraternity. It's a brotherhood. Everybody pulls on the same end of the rope, and yesterday was the perfect example, I feel, to where the players even said it themselves. We're not going to be pushed around. We saw who got hit. One guy will end up in the hospital, intentional or not. That can't continue to happen. And whoever ordered it, whoever wanted to do it, I am all for it to send a message. Padres just aren't going to be pushed around, and we saw that. It was evident yesterday.
A 500 road trip for the Padres, but Eric Hosmer starting to come to life here.
You can see why Eric Hosmer has the chance and probably is the heart and soul of this ball club. He did it in Kansas City. Well, thank goodness now he's in a Padre uniform. He uses the whole field. During the road trip, he had a cool 417, the OPS, scoring 5 runs as well. 8 multi-hit games, leads major leagues. 5 multi-hit games in the last 6 games. And runners in scoring position, to me, that's clutch. 375, and once in a while, yeah, he'll put it out of the ballpark as well. He brings so much to the ball club, not just his bat and his glove, but his presence in the clubhouse.
Well, the Giants are here for the first of 4. New look Giants team. You got McCutchen and Longoria now, Giants.
They wanted experience, but yet they got older. The San Francisco Giants, oldest in the National League, 4th oldest in Major League Baseball. McCutchen, an MVP, sitting 217. I think he's nothing to worry about. He's going to come up with big hits. Evan Longoria, I think mechanically, he is trying to pull the ball a lot. His front side is opening up a lot. That's why he's hitting only 132. He should turn it around as well.
Well, a big day yesterday with a lot of fireworks. Yesterday, we'll hear from a lot involved in yesterday's fracas in Denver. Bob Scanlon will join us next from Petco Park.
Behind Nolan Arenado, he recharges the mound, and it is on. Christian Villanueva got hit in the first series. Manny Margot went to the hospital. Hunter Renfroe got hit, and finally, enough was enough. The boys said, we got to take care of some business. Now, Luis Perdomo said it just got away from him a little bit, but you know what? A message needed to be sent. The boys stuck together, and here was the reaction in the clubhouse afterwards.
You know, they've been pitching aggressively, and we've had some guys that have been hit. We had a guy sent to the hospital last night. We had two guys get hit on their hands. I think I was just out there doing what we were all doing. That's having each other's back and protecting each other. And you know, that's what this team's going to do. We're always going to fight for each other, and we're going to protect one another. And nobody's going to bully this team.
Two teams sticking up for each other. You know, I know everybody in that club is proud of their guys for sticking up for them, and everybody in this club is proud of our boys for sticking up for us. And like I said, the main thing was we moved on and played baseball after that.
Look, whether that pitch slipped out of his hand or whether it went exactly where it was supposed to, the bottom line is a message was sent to the Rockies and to the rest of the league, and that message from the Padres is this. Look, you can pitch inside aggressively if you want to. We are going to pitch aggressively inside right back, and if one gets away and hits your best batter, so be it. If you don't like it, bring it on. The boys stuck together yesterday. They're going to try to do it again today. They're looking for another series win. Padres versus the Giants. Brian Mitchell looking for his first win as a Padre, going up against Chris Stratton. Padres, Giants, coming up next, right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
It's time now for the weather report, brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. 63 degrees as we get it started, a northwest breeze at 12 miles per hour, and the forecast fair for the remainder of the evening. As the Padres return home, Don Orsillo, Mark Grant, Bob Scanlon with you for the first of four between the Padres and the Giants, as San Francisco coming here to San Diego for the first time this season. Let's check out the starting nine for Bruce Bochy's team. Joe Panik leading it off at second base. Brandon Belt at first base with Andrew McCutchen in right field. Buster Posey doing the catching and in the cleanup spot. Newcomer Evan Longoria coming over from the Tampa Bay Rays at third base with Brandon Crawford at short. Hunter Pence is in left field, which is different, always usually in right field. Gregor Blanco is in center, and Chris Stratton on the mound tonight for the San Francisco Giants.
And on the hill for the hometown San Diego Padres, 26-year-old Brian Mitchell making his third start. We know he's got a live arm. Boy, if he can hit his spots with some consistency, he's going to be lights out. He uses both sides of the plate, and he needs to walk fewer hitters. Last time out, he walked 6 in 5 2/3, did not give up a run, and only surrendered 3 hits.
Now ready to work to Joe Panik, who leads it off here for the Giants.
San Francisco coming in at 5-6 on the year. Brian Mitchell ready to work, and the first pitch of the ball game is going to miss for ball one. And Mitchell with a 4.22 earned run average coming in. And Joe Panik off to a 3:08 start at the top of the order for the Giants, and sends this one foul off to the left and out of play.
I think last start, Don, for Brian Mitchell, it should really boost his confidence against the world champion Houston Astros. That is one tough lineup. We talked about that. And after it was all said and done, 5 2/3, he did not give up any runs, only 3 hits. So that's got to carry over to his next start, hopefully.
He's pitching in a tough atmosphere there, too.
Yeah.
Sellout crowd in Houston. Coming in here tonight for start number 3 as he peers into Austin Hedges for a sign. The Giants and Padres playing the first of 19 games this year. Padres won 12 of 19 meetings between these two teams last year, winning the season series. And look at one of the newcomers to this team, and Andrew McCutchen. Here's ball 4 to Joe Panik to start things here in the first inning.
Behind Brian Mitchell tonight against these Giants, the Padres defense is brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. In the outfield, left to right, Corey Spangenberg, 3rd start in left field this season. Franchi Cordero will be in center. Jose Perella in right. On the infield, 3rd to 1st, Villanueva, Galvis, Asuaje, Hosmer. Behind the plate, giving the signs, Austin Hedges.
Lead runner on here for the Giants in the first inning. It brings up Brandon Belt.
Don, now the one thing, you look at the line for Brian Mitchell, 6 walks. And
too many.
Yeah, he made good pitches when he really needed to, but last start 6 walks. If you can cut down on those walks, he should be okay.
Yeah, walk the first batter tonight, and Joe Panik, who's at first base, and gains his lead. Padres in a shift on the right side of the infield here on Brandon Belt, and Belt sends one out to deep right field. Perella going back almost to the warning track to make the catch, just shy of it for out number 1. So 1 away here in the first, and Brandon Belt didn't miss that by very much.
Well, let's check out the location. That is a curveball. Belt has difficulty hitting the curveball. That just happens to be in his swing path, and not enough oomph behind it. Maybe a little bit off the sweet spot. Hit that force field out in right field for the easy fly ball.
1 down, 1 on. It brings up Andrew McCutchen, and so strange to see him in a Giants uniform, and the same can be said for Evan Longoria. Really the faces of their respective franchises for a while. In McCutchen's case, of course, the Pirates, and Longoria's case, the Rays.
I think even though McCutchen and Longoria are not swinging like they should be, and we know, I think they bring that intangible of just being who they are, the veteran players, to that clubhouse for the Giants. Sure, they got older, but they help.
And their presence in the lineup no doubt helps. McCutchen will ground 1 foul outside of 3rd. It's already started now. 12 games in right field with the Giants, and only hitting at the 217, but has 2 walk-offs this season already for them. He's acquired via a trade with the Pirates, as the pitch misses up top in exchange for right-handers Kyle Crick and Brian Reynolds. Trade went down the middle of January, the 15th of this past offseason of January.
Here's what I look at with Andrew McCutchen, and even when he was a bucko, 0-2 count right now, 1-2, he can grind out some at-bats. He can really make a pitcher work even though it's 0-2.
Hits it in on the hands, but sends it opposite field into right field for a base hit. Up to second goes Panik, and the Giants have runners at first and second with 1 down. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
First game of the series against the rival Giants in the NL West. There are some big keys. Throws Stratton a curveball. He likes to throw the curveball. I'm saying the Padres throw him one. Turn that around. Extra base hit, big hits, and no Giant mistakes. Clean, crisp baseball, good pitches, good defense to help out Brian Mitchell, and hopefully the Padres chalk up a W in game 1 of the series.
Runners at first and second with one away here in the Giants' first inning, and it brings up Buster Posey. Posey off to a good start. A lot of the Giants offensively are not. Posey's not one of those guys, hitting at .389 with 2 homers and 6 runs batted in. Posey leading the National League, hitting at .389. Robinson Cano leading the American League and the majors with a .406 average to start the day. Mitchell trying to work his way around a walk and a single in the inning. Did get the fly out to right by Brandon Belt for the inning's first out. There's a strike, and it's 2-1 now to Posey.
Mitchell has tremendous movement on that two-seam fastball, and that's not like an 89, 90-mile-an-hour fastball. That's 95 with movement. That ball came back against the right-handed hitting Posey. Started it maybe off the plate just a little bit.
Posey coming into this game with a 9-game hitting streak. Situated deeply in the box on the right side. 3-1.
Change up there for Mitchell, kind of slowed up his arm just a little bit. He'll throw the 4-seamer, the change up, the curveball, the cutter.
This will get away on ball 4 and load the bases. Second walk of the inning given up by Mitchell. Darren Ballsy, the pitching coach, headed out there, and it's time now for the tools of the trade, brought to you by Ram Trucks.
And Darren Ballsy has a little chat. Let's check out Brian Mitchell and his repertoire. How does he get hurt? Well, location is key, especially at the big league level. This ball leaks over the heart of the plate and belt buckle high. Carlos Gonzalez does some damage. Boy, the cutter can really be a good pitch if placed well. Ian Desmond, though, too good of a hitter to sneak a mistake by him. He sent it on its way. Now, when he's on his game, the curveball, good rotation, work down. Therefore, the hitter hits the top of the baseball. It's well located. You see that swing off balance? That's a big key, hitting his spots with all of his pitches for Brian Mitchell.
Well, a bases loaded 1-out situation here, and you got Evan Longoria coming up. Chance here for the Giants to do some damage in the first inning as Longoria backs out here and says something to home plate umpire Mike Winters. Longoria acquired from Tampa Bay in exchange for Christian Arroyo, Denard Span, and Matt Crook. Grounder towards shortstop. Galvis will go to second for 1. On to first. It is not in time, and a run will score. In from third is Joe Panik. Padres close to turning that inning-ending double play, but instead the Giants do get a run out of it. It's 1-0 San Francisco.
Longoria knows that he's got to get down that line quickly, and it's a chopper, not really hit that hard, and he just beats it out for the RBI, and the Giants are on the board.
So bases reloaded. I beg your pardon. Runners at first and third now with 2 down in the inning. As Posey forced out at second base, middleman, and here is Brandon Crawford heading out of the 6th spot in the order. Really a tough situation for the Giants from a medical standpoint to lose the guys that they have to begin this year. Madison Bumgarner on the DL, Johnny Cueto, Jeff Samardzija. That's tough. You lose those 3 guys and your closer, you're in a tough spot for Bruce Bochy.
And the youngsters that have to come up and fill those shoes. I mean, really? That's tough to do. Bruce Bochy knows that. And you know what? I went in and talked to Bruce before the game, and I said, you know what? In a situation that these youngsters are put in, isn't it kind of how you'd like to introduce them to the big leagues and what the big leagues are all about, right? To me, I've always thought that. I said, if you're going to be put in a position to where it's a necessity because of injuries, you need to bring kids up. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, because they're going to finally realize and learn quickly that, hey, you know what? Gosh, I need to make an adjustment. This is the big leagues. So I think it could be a good thing for the youngsters.
Well, they have a chance to play on a daily basis at the moment. 0-2 the count here to Brandon Crawford. And that's away, 1-2. The Giants have not been hitting home runs. They've hit just one home run in 127 at bats since the walk-off by Andrew McCutchen on Saturday.
Well, a couple of things here. You always hate playing catch-up with the Giants on the board and your starting pitcher to get up there in the pitch count. And it's 50-50. 11 balls, 11 strikes, and according to my math, that's 22 pitches for Brian Mitchell.
Been a battle here in the first inning, trying to settle in, and so far has only allowed a run. As Crawford will take a pitch up. Full count now. Hosmer will back off the bag at first, and not hold on Longoria at first base. McCutchen at third, Longoria at first, with 2 down in the inning. And a check swing. Did he go? No. And that will load the bases. Well, Austin Hedges was headed to the dugout. He thought he went around. And it is ball 4, and that is the 3rd walk of the inning allowed by Brian Mitchell.
Oh, I thought he went.
I did too.
You know, as you look, that barrel actually goes out in front of his hands. He most definitely went, I thought.
Mike Michlinski, third base umpire, didn't agree. Austin Hedges did, though. He was headed to the dugout. So bases loaded again, and here is Hunter Pence. I think lower in the order than we're used to seeing. Pence dropping down to 7, although hitting at just 194 coming into today's action. Hitless in his last 7 at bats, and the 194 is 7 for 36. The numbers on the year in 11 games. All of his starts have come in left field. Pretty good hitter with the bases loaded. 6 grand slams on his resume. Popped up, foul off to the right, out of play, leaving the count at 1-1.
Well, how poorly are the Giants struggling early on in the season? When you look at the statistics, the club at rank batting, there's a lot of numbers in the double digits down. Runs 15th, hits 12th in the league, total bases 13th, doubles 13th, slugging percentage 12th, on base percentage last in the National League.
Pence going the other way, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. McCutchen will score. Longoria behind him. Throw is cut off. 2 more runs in for the Giants, and they take a 3-0 lead here in the first inning. Well, Hunter Pence going opposite field with that 2-run single.
You know, he swings so aggressively that he can get jammed like this here. 94 down and off the fists. There's the 2-seamer. He fights it off. Just happens to go to the opposite field, and avoiding the sweet spot, dumps in there. And with 2 outs, the Giants are off and running. And they put 2 more on the board.
8th member of the Giants to bat here in the first inning is going to be Gregor Blanco. Crawford at third, Pence at first. 3 runs in. A high strike call for strike 1.
Like any team that's struggling, they're not just going to go up there and just give away at bats. They're still going to grind. We've seen that this inning. McCutchen was down 0-2. He got aboard with a base hit. Hunter Pence fought something off. Drove in 2.
Here's a pop up left side of the infield. This should do it, and Villanueva makes the catch and ends the inning, but a 3-run first for the Giants. Baseball brought to you by Cadillac. Visit your San Diego Cadillac dealers today. By Petco, where the pets go. And by Jack in the Box. This season, Padres home runs score free Jumbo Jacks only in Jack in the Box. Now the Padres and the Giants, game one of a 4-game series and a fast start for the San Francisco Giants as they score 3 times in the top of the first inning. Padres coming up here in the bottom of the first inning. And their lineup is brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Franchi Cordero is in center field with Jose Perella in right. Eric Hosmer at first base with Christian Villanueva at third. For Spangenberg in left. Freddie Galvis is at shortstop. Carlos Asuaje at second base. Austin Hedges does the catching, batting 8th. And Brian Mitchell, the pitcher, batting out of the 9th spot for San Diego.
On the hill for the Giants, right-hander Chris Stratton. This guy throws a lot of curveballs. Let's see if the Padres can get some up in the zone along with that curveball, the fastball, slider, changeup. Hey, make him throw a lot of strikes.
Franchi Cordero leading it off here in the bottom of the first inning. And for Stratton, taking the hill here now with a 3-run lead.
Yeah, and he doesn't give up a lot of long balls, so the Padres are going to have to string together multiple hits to try to do some damage. Maybe a couple base runners, a walk here, a hit there, and extra base hit to get on the board.
3rd start of the season. His first against a team that is not the Los Angeles Dodgers. First 2 against LA. On the ground right side and to his left, high hop for Panic, but he makes that hop and fires to first in time to get Cordero.
Well, we just saw Joe Panic at second base. You want to have the rest of the defense brought to you by Cadillac. That's what the Giants look like. In the outfield, Hunter Pence in left, Gregor Blanco in center, Andrew McCutcheon in right. On the infield, veteran Evan Longoria, Brandon Crawford at short. We just saw Joe Panic, Brandon Belt at first base, and Buster Posey behind the plate for the Giants.
1 down as Jose Perella stands in on the right side. Perella had a very good series in Colorado. 316 average overall, and batting second now in the Padres order. Of course, Will Myers remains on the DL for the Padres. He's been hitting second. Stratton's 0-1. Didn't miss by a lot. Stratton earning a no decision last start, allowing 3 runs, 2 earned. 5 innings and a Giants eventual 7-5 win over the Dodgers. By Perella at 91.
Yeah, looked like a little cut fastball. A little cut action there at the end of that pitch. 90-91 is what I've seen so far from Stratton. Boy, up on top and just a little bit of cut there at 91.
Stratton has 1 career start against the Padres. 6 2/3 September 29th at AT&T Park. They're going to try to work him away. And in the dirt away, 2-2.
Hey, Don, you know how these days everything is spin rate? Threw his curveball 193 times last season and 3,105 revolutions per minute. And according to StatCast, it's the highest spin rate among all major league pitchers who throw a curveball. That's getting it on top and bang, and really ripping that pitch and really throwing it, not guiding it. 3,100.
So does that make it tight or loopy?
Tight.
Tight.
Yeah.
Okay. Payoff pitch coming up here. And Perella sprays it foul down the right field line, out of play. Now, when I think of spin rate, I think a lot about four-seam fastballs.
The same thing.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. A lot of spin rate on a four-seam fastball, no doubt.
Payoff pitch again. And Perella takes it for ball 4. Well, to first base goes Jose with 1 out in the inning. Padres starter Ryan Mitchell had walked 3 in the first inning. Here's the first walk for Chris Stratton.
I'll tell you, that was a nice tight slider we saw right there to go along with that curveball from Stratton. I thought that last pitch was a pretty good pitch.
1 out, 1 on. Eric Hosmer coming up. mentioned off the top, good trip for Haas, and yesterday hitting his first Padres home run. 333 average on the year, 3 RBIs to go along with that home run. Eight multi-hit games this year. That leads the majors for Eric Hosmer. He was 6 for 12 in that series against the Rockies. 17 hits on the year. That leads all first basemen. Swing and a miss at the fastball. 1-1.
Boy, it looks to me like the Giants in the outfield, they're playing on the deep side, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
And they are not shifting here on Hosmer. So we've seen teams do different things here in Hosmer. The first go around here with Eric Hosmer on the Padres.
I think maybe with the stuff of Stratton that the Giants are looking at what Hosmer has done, shooting the ball the opposite way on the infield. That's why they have 2 heavy on that left side. Crawford and Longoria staying put. There's the curveball again, right on the outside corner. See the rotation? See how tight that is?
It's very tight.
Yeah. I love the good old-fashioned 12-6 curveball.
Gonna get jammed and flips a pop-up into shallow center out is Crawford. Look out. He'll make the catch over the shoulder and fires towards first base. Wow, Brandon Crawford well out into center field to make that grab.
Brandon Crawford, see where he's playing? Jump, go, sprint, check. There's got to be some good communication there, but that is some serious ground covered by Crawford. Boy, pitchers love that, and thank goodness, because we just noticed how deep they were playing in center field.
Now that had a collision written all over it, with Blanco coming in as hard as he did and Crawford running out there as hard as he was headed out there. You're right, good communication and nice play by Crawford, and swing and a miss here for Villanueva.
See how that curveball though set up that fastball into Hosmer? He got in his kitchen after backdoor curveball, fastball in, buzzed him with the fastball in.
Really jammed him up.
Yep.
3 homers, 6 RBIs for Villanueva, and of course those 3 home runs came all in the same game. He gets jammed and fouls it back.
You know what I always love to see? You know, it's always sexy to have the guy who throws 98 like strikeouts here and there, but I love the pitcher who's like 91, 92-ish, who's not afraid to bury the four-seam fastball in, throw the curveball down and away, toss up a changeup there, but you have to pitch in with your fastball, even if it's only 90, 91.
It's really pitching.
It is, and that's that last pitch we saw from Stratton to Villanueva was in on the fist at 91.
In the air to left center field. Blanco coming from center into left center, and he secures out number 3. We played 1, 3-0 Giants. top of the Padres, we get ready here for inning number 2, and 8 men came to the plate for the Giants in the first inning. 3 of them score. Number 9 man in the order, the pitcher, Chris Stratton, leading it off here for San Francisco, and he takes strike 1. See, Brian Mitchell can kind of find his bearings here in the second inning.
He needs a quick one.
On a strike here to Stratton. 0 for 3 so far in the season at the plate, and late cut there. He fouls it off on the ground. One thing we saw with Mitchell last time, basically in between every pitch, he's going back to the rosin back there in the backside of the hill. And did he go? Yeah, he did. Home plate umpire is going to ring him up. Mike Winters not even going to check. That is the first strikeout for Brian Mitchell. 1 down here in the second inning.
There's a hanging curveball. Yeah, he went. He's got to get that release point down, because when he has a nice release point on that number 2, it's a yacker. That's a good one.
1 out, and Joe Panik, second time through already here in the order for Brian Mitchell. Panik got it started in the first inning with a walk, one of 3 walks allowed by Mitchell in that first inning. Fly ball skied to left field, where Corey Spangenberg will duck back and under to make the catch shy of the track for out number 2. Now it's time now for our Valley View Casino trivia question.
I love trivia.
Which current Padre made his major league debut against the Giants and also recorded his first career hit 2 days later? The answer for you a little bit later.
I don't know that one. Do you know it?
I don't. 2 outs here in the second, and it brings up Brandon Belt. Padres go into a shift on the right side, and Belt will take strike 1. Belt flied out to right field, and Jose Pirela, first time up.
Ooh, pretty good movement, not getting the high strike call. A lot of pitches have been up. Got to make an adjustment. Got squeezed the last 2 pitches. You know, sometimes you want the pitch up. I think the pitch prior you wanted up. That, you know, Austin Hedges was set up with the high glove. Some guys have trouble with that pitch.
Not missing by a lot, but missing and falling behind here 3-1. Bunt bid with a shift on, and it's fouled off. So Brandon Belt just trying to get a base hit here any way he can.
Wow, 3-1.
Yeah. That's a real surprise.
To me it is. I mean, if it's 3-1 and you know a guy like Brandon Belt is up at the plate, he's only hitting, you know, he's hitting 250. He's got a home run, but still a chance to maybe run into one, hit an extra base hit. Now he's got to really protect with 2 strikes.
There's ball 4, and down to first base goes Belt. That's 4 walks now for Mitchell in an inning and 2/3. And it gives Andrew McCutchen a chance. And the Giants are also dealing with another injury in Austin Jackson, who left Wednesday's game with tightness in his groin, and it has sidelined him. And that is the reason you get Gregor Blanco playing in center field for the Giants in tonight's game. Some more injuries for them. This one is chopped to deep third. It is a foul ball.
Ooh.
That looked very fair to me. We'll see.
You know what? It may have hit in foul territory, but I think that ball may, if it bounces that far past the bag,
yes,
and a little bit foul, that ball I think has got to go over the bag.
Well, the Giants third base coach not arguing, so he had a real good look.
Ooh.
It looked like it went over the bag.
It hit well in front of the bag and well beyond the bag.
So 2 down, Belt at first. And McCutchen with another chance here. in the dirt and smothered by Hedges. Cutchin with a single to right field in the first inning. Came around to score the second run for the Giants. They scored 3 times in the first. Most career hits since 2012. McCutcheon, top 5 in that category. Jose Altuve on top.
That's a good group right there.
Yes, it is.
Well, he can't find the release point on that curveball. Very inconsistent. Been there, done that.
Two outs, Belt at first. Hosmer holding him on.
You know, I've always thought if a pitcher, and maybe Bob Scanlon later on could talk about this, you know, the curveball has been inconsistent, right? There are times when pitchers maybe go to their third pitch, maybe mixing a changeup. That changeup might be your secondary pitch on that particular night.
If you're not throwing strikes with the first two.
Exactly. If you're not throwing strikes with that secondary curveball, which is could be a nasty pitch. You know, you mix in a fastball, and then maybe in a breaking ball count, you drop the changeup. Just a thought. Not for everybody, but if you're inconsistent with that secondary pitch, you got to find another way to get him out in front.
Runner goes at first, and McCutcheon will take ball 4. That is the 5th walk in an inning and 2/3 for Brian Mitchell, and with 2 outs, back-to-back walks here in the inning. Now coming up here is Buster Posey, and it's time for the Kia drive to success. Now Buster Posey, highest career average by a catcher at 309. Talk about a good list.
And look at it, we're going back in the 20s and 30s, right?
Yes, we are. Minimum 3,000 plate appearances.
I mean, Spud Davis, come on.
To first and out of the reach of Hosmer, but it's why he's got it, and covering is Mitchell for the out at first base. Nice play to get out of that jam. 3-0 Giants.
Catch every moment this season. Get Padres home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today.
It's on to the last of the second inning. Is back out there Chris Stratton. Walked a batter in the first inning, but only faced 4 hitters in the first through 17 first inning pitches, and Corey Spangenberg leading it off in the inning and swinging at the first pitch. Spangenberg getting another start in the outfield. Part of the rotating few that will play the outfield, man the outfield in the absence of Manuel Margot and Will Myers.
Matchups, right?
Pretty much what's going to determine who plays.
What's the old cliche? A rolling stone gathers no moss.
Never understood that one.
Well, if a stone sits around for a long time and starts growing moss on it,
Gathers moss.
yeah, you got to keep going and stay sharp, stay smooth.
So if the rock rolls,
It stays smooth.
no moss.
And that's, I think, what Andy Green wants to do, to incorporate those outfielders with the absence of Margot and Myers.
Popped up with a shallow left. Longoria with a stagger, but he makes the catch. The first out here at the bottom of the second. And Spangenberg retired for out number 1.
Unlike the American League, where bench players can sit there and rot, right?
Yes. There are some very good American League managers who, and Terry Francona is one of them, who rotate guys all the time.
That's my point. Yeah.
Because when somebody goes down, that guy hasn't been sitting around for 8-10 days without an AB. But you're right. I mean, it's harder to get guys in the games because, I mean, let's face it, bench guys in the National League have a chance to pinch hit every night. Freddie Galvis batting with 1 down. Strike over that outside corner.
And he's getting the call, so why not stay out there?
In the dirt, and Galvis swings at it, strikes out. Having to throw him out is Posey, and he does. A strikeout for Chris Stratton, 2 down.
That's the curveball. He buried it. And Buster Posey's got to be on his game. If it's in the dirt, 2 strikes to smother it. And there's the arsenal for Chris Stratton this year, 2018. 61% of the time, the fastball. And he loves the curveball and the slider. He loves to spin it.
Change up, not so much.
Nope. Maybe a look-see pitch early in the count.
4 in a row retired by Stratton, and here is Suaje who takes ball 1. .208 with a home run and 4 runs batted in. Fly ball to left field. Pence going back, but he'll have room. And he makes the catch, below the cap high to end the inning. Through 2, 3-0 Giants.
Was very aggressive with it, showed some real positive signs, and I just want to see him continue to build on those and attack hitters with real aggression and trust his stuff, and I think if he does that, he's going to have success.
That's Andy Green talking about Brian Mitchell regarding his last outing when he did a really nice job, as Andy said, of working the ball down in the zone, guys. We've seen him missing upstairs quite a bit. He's going to need to make that adjustment. The other thing to keep an eye on, with 2 strikes, opposing batters have hit 455 and had reached base on a 625 pace. So far tonight, he's gotten 2 strikes on 5 different batters, and 4 of them have reached base. Hopefully he can start putting some guys away, guys.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. Yeah, so far it has been much of the same from last outing and all the walks, but more this outing in the first 2 innings than he had in the last outing. 3 walks in the first, 2 in the second. This is solid contact into left center field, a base hit where Evan Longoria starts this top of the 3rd inning.
Well, Evan Longoria, he's a professional hitter. We know that, his days with the Rays. But hey, look what happens here. Right, 2-0. He's looking for that's a nice easy swing. 2-0, he's banking on a fastball from Mitchell. That ball leaks over the outer half of the plate. He's got good plate coverage. He just spits on the bad fastball and just reacts to the good fastball. Just caught too much of the plate. And at this level, 2-0, you throw a fastball over the plate, you'll get burned. Believe me.
Well, Longoria aboard at first base to begin things here in the 3rd, and it brings up Brandon Crawford. Crawford walked in the 1st inning. Off to just a .216 start on the year for Crawford. That's in there for a strike, 1-1. First career start for Brian Mitchell against the Giants.
Hey, Don, you know what we just saw? We just saw a changeup from Brian Mitchell for a strike.
Trying something else.
I think that's a good sign.
Runner goes, and a little hit and run into left field for a base hit. Longoria keeps on going to 3rd, and it's 1st and 3rd with nobody out. Galvis going to cover the bag at 2nd with the runner going. Opened up that left side.
This looked like a cut fastball. As soon as the runner is going, Galvis to the bag, and that's great manipulation of that shillelagh for Brandon Crawford. That's a cut fastball that's up. Tries not to level that swing and just punches it through that hole. Perfectly executed.
1st and 3rd, nobody out. And Hunter Pence coming up here. His 2nd look at Brian Mitchell tonight. Pence with a single that drove in 2 runs in the 1st as Hedges able to block that breaking ball in the dirt. The Giants had just 2 hits coming into this 3rd inning. They put together back-to-back hits here in the 3rd. On the corner, and it's a ball and a strike. Plus, the Padres had to get into that bullpen yesterday due to the altercation that took place, and Perdomo just getting into the 3rd. This one grounded foul. So they had to use a lot of that bullpen yesterday. So far, no action in the pen as Mitchell has struggled here in the early going with his control. Open stance from Hunter Pence per usual. All kinds of activity in that batter's box. 2-2.
Well, that one, he wanted it up, but that's way up. And we've seen Hunter Pence swing at pitches. See that SF on his helmet?
Yeah.
We have seen him swing at pitches that high.
We'll stick to the gas, it looks like.
Yeah, 2-seamer down and away, bring it back.
Swinging a foul tip held onto by Austin Hedges. Needed that. Strikes out Hunter Pence. 2nd strikeout for Brian Mitchell. 1 down.
And hopefully that release point sticks into the mind. Brian Mitchell, that's right on the outside corner. That is a nasty pitch. And this is what Hunter Pence looks at. Trying to stay alive there. Maybe anticipating a different pitch, but very, very late. A double play in order with the runners at the corners.
Gregor Blanco, the batter here for the Giants. Popped out to Christian Villanueva at third base in the first inning, 0 for 1. Giants have already left 4 men on base and left 2 on in the first, 2 in the second. They have 2 on here in the third with 1 down. It's Longoria at third, Brandon Crawford across the diamond at first. Runner goes, Blanco will pop it up, and Hedges back to make the spectacular catch. He'll turn it into a double play. How about that for Austin Hedges? Makes the grab on the pop-up, and from his backside turns it into a double play. Outstanding from Hedges. As we head to the bottom of the third inning, let's take a look at it. The Arco top tier play, and a tremendous catch by Hedges alone, but then he turns it into 2.
There's a lot going on here. First of all, he's got to get rid of that mask. He's wearing all that gear. He dives, and then from his backside, oh yeah, soak it in, Austin Hedges. High fives all the way around. Hard holding back the smiles on that one. That's a big league play right there, folks.
Brian Mitchell out of a jam again. As here he is to lead it off in the bottom of the third inning. His first AB of the game. 2 homers, 4 runs batted in.
And that ball wasn't up in the air all that much.
No.
That's what also makes it impressive.
Swings away and pops it up. Shallow center field. Out is Brandon Crawford. And the Giants shortstop secures out number 1. How about this? Clayton Richard is coming up here to pinch hit. There is Jordan Lyles warming in the pen.
Stay tuned. Well, 4-man bench for Andy Green, and being only at the bottom of the third inning, you don't want to burn a position player.
Of course, he just hit a 3-run home run at Coors Field last series. Pitch coming up here for Chris Stratton.
Well, for Brian Mitchell, ends up going the 3 innings. Gives up a total of 4 hits, 3 runs. That is ball 3, 3-1. He walked 5 and struck out 2. Ended up throwing 61 pitches. 32 for strikes of the 61 pitches he threw. This is line into right field. Clayton Richard with a pinch hit single to right. So Clayton Richard, the pitcher, comes up here to pinch hit. And a base hit for Clayton.
Well, it's 3-1, and Clayton Richard getting some serious plate coverage there. He's going to hunt the fastball. He gets aboard. Padres trying to chip away here early in the bottom of the 3rd. You go, Clayton Richard.
1 out, 1 on, top of the order. Frenchy Cordero. His arms out of the way and takes a pitch inside. Frenchy grounded out to second base in the 1st inning.
Now, when I fill out my book for future games, am I going to have to list Richard on the left side of my bench?
You might have to. Line to short, and that one is caught in the air. They're going to turn this into 2. So a double play with Richard headed towards second base. Giants on the 3rd inning as Crawford able to make the grab before it hits the dirt. And we have played 3 with the Giants on top 3-0. We'll see if the Padres are going to challenge this. Whether or not they thought it hit the ground, and see what Andy Green's going to do. Looks like they're not going to challenge. And we will play on. So 3-0 Giants through 3. Top half of the 4th inning, and Jordan Lyles now in the game for the Padres. Stratton, the pitcher, swings at the first pitch, grounds one out to second base, and goes to Swahe. Takes care of out number 1. So 1 pitch and 1 out for Jordan Lyles, who comes into this game here in the 4th.
Well, he's been throwing the ball extremely well out of the Padre bullpen. We'll see how many frames he goes. This being his 6th game, nice ERA, and the strikeouts. Whenever you see more strikeouts than innings pitched, that's a good sign. Lefties this early on hitting 308, and he is owning the righties at 071.
Who owns the Chiefs?
Own the Chiefs.
Joe Paddock batting with 1 out. Always great to have with us. Anthony Gwynn Jr. in the booth here in the middle innings. And Tony, how you doing?
I'm good, fellas. How about you guys?
Very good.
Good to see you, T.
Thank you. Good to see you guys as well.
And Brian Mitchell, another tough night tonight as far as the walks go. Running into some trouble there with 5 walks in 3 innings.
Yeah, he seemed to struggle with his command. He wasn't missing a lot, but he was missing enough to where he couldn't get those calls, and the amount of pitches just kind of stacked up on him.
High fly ball out to right center field, pretty deep. Perella moving over, And under, look out. Here comes Franchi Cordero, calls him off, and Franchi makes a catch out there. The quarterback in center field, Cordero, 2 down. Now the Giants, it appeared they underachieved last year. Now this year they got some pretty serious injuries they're dealing with to begin this season.
They do. Their rotation has been ravaged with injuries, and the offensive players they brought in have struggled to start the season. So not off to a good start for the Giants.
They got their front 3 starters who are on the DL. Closer. Pitch in there for a strike to Brandon Belt.
That's why that 8th in the league in ERA can kind of be deceiving. Cueto hasn't missed a start yet. He's going to miss his next one after the injury. We'll see if that starting rotation can hold up.
Ooh, look out, and Belt is hit by the pitch up and in. Second time he's been aboard in this game. He had walked in the second.
Well, Austin Hedges up out of the crouch a little bit, wants that one in, and it's a 4-seam fastball that gets on the tricep of Brandon Belt. The last thing Jordan Lyles wants to do, trailing 3-0, is to give more base runners to the San Francisco Giants and have them add on, especially with 2 outs.
Gives Andrew McCutchen a chance. We were talking about it earlier. It's so strange to see some of these newcomers come to the Giants who are kind of the faces of their franchises in the past, and McCutchen with Pirates, and you got Longoria with the Rays.
Yeah, for McCutchen, it's not as big of a change. He's been in the National League, but for Longo, he's going to have to learn National League pitching all over, you know, and I think that contributes to their slow start. McCutchen obviously started to swing the bat a lot better lately. He had the 6-hit game, 2 walk-offs. He's got a single to start the game today. So from the Giants' perspective, they're hoping that's the start of something nice.
Cordero, the center fielder, step or 2 towards left center for McCutchen to pull. And that's in there for a strike to even the count of 1-1.
That is a firm fastball working downhill from Jordan Lyles.
McCutchen has enjoyed his time against Lyles, 12 for 20 against him.
That's pretty good.
I'm sure Jordan Lyles is aware of it. There's strike 2. Lower on numbers.
There's nothing he could do with that pitch right there. That's on the black away.
Yeah, if you offered that off the end of the bat, you might just flare one down the right field line.
Lyles done a very nice job to begin the year. It's kind of considered, I think, the long man pretty much out of the gate, but that has now changed. You got Yates on the DL and some changes in the bullpen. Very quickly, your position in the bullpen changes. This one grounded down the line at third. It is a foul ball. Another close play down there. We're talking about the walk-offs for McCutchen. He has had 2 so far this year. This one against the Dodgers, which you knew right away. This one against the Diamondbacks. Out to left center field, the gapper to win it.
Both against NL West opponents. Laying the groundwork now early in the season.
Runner goes. McCutchen swings and fouls it back to the screen.
Oh, did you see his intent there? It was almost as if that swing to him. He wanted to try to take that breaking ball the opposite way.
Yeah, when guys have the kind of experience McCutchen has, he knows this is a hit and run. This is a slider. Tries to let it get deep. Round ball, round bat. Sometimes you just miss. Yeah. There's not something wrong mechanical all the time.
In the dirt and smothered by Hedges. Pitch of the at bat coming up here. McCutchen putting on a pretty good AB.
I think that's the one thing you've noticed from this Giants ball club. They've only got the 4 hits but they have put together at bats, and I think that's what ended up, wearing Mitchell down. Long at bats, more pitches, a lot of stress.
Swing and a miss, and Lyles comes back to strike him out at a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. 3-0 Giants. Game 3 of the 2014 World Series. Kansas City against these Giants. Hosmer, the go-ahead RBI, base hit with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning that would put the Royals up 3-0 over the Giants. Giants managed to push across 2 runs, but Hosmer's RBI single would be the deciding run as the Royals won Game 3 by a final score of 3-2. Now taking on the Giants as a member of the San Diego Padres. Little bad second in this inning. As Jose Perella leads it off in the home half of the 4th. Perella, who arguably was the most consistent hitter for the Padres last year, and still getting it done this year, Tony.
Yeah, it's carried over into this season. He's done a tremendous job. I mean, when you watch him in his at bat, regardless of what's going on, he might swing and miss at 2 pitches. He always makes an adjustment. Very rarely does he go through the whole at bat without making one.
On the ground this time to panic at second base, and Perella is out number 1 of the 4th inning.
Tony, you know what? Even though that's a 4-3 play, I think his intent there, he hit that ball sharply.
Yeah.
He just happened to have a fielder right there, but I think more times than not, he showed it in Houston, he showed it in Colorado. A couple times when he squares it up and goes right center field, he could do some serious damage.
He uses the whole field,
yeah.
And a lot of times when you try to get him in with the fastball, he'll turn and burn you. But most of the time, the fastball is usually hit up the middle, right center most of the time. He'll occasionally swing through a breaking ball, but when he catches those are the ones that are going out to left field. I think ideally in a perfect world, that's how you want to hit the baseball.
Well, 1 down here in the 4th inning, and Eric Hosmer popped out to short in the 1st.
Eric Hosmer has been as advertised so far this year. Especially when you consider he got a late start to the season compared to everybody else. Most of the time that happens, guys struggle out the gate, but he's been great.
Interesting that they're now shifting on him. Well, of course, got his first home run out of the way yesterday in Colorado. In a Padres uniform. 1-2 pitch coming up. And it fouled off again down by the shoe tops. Yesterday into left center field at Coors Field for Eric Hosmer.
Lefty on lefty. Looked like a fastball that just stayed middle, and once again, Eric Hosmer, just like Jose Pirela, he uses the whole field. That ball was a laser out to you can pretty much call that center field, but
fouled off to left out of play. That's why I'm kind of surprised that some of the teams shift against him. Seems like a lot of his hits and stuff going the other way.
Yeah, I think most of his hits are going to go the other way. His outs, though, are usually are going to be on the ground most of the time on the pull side. I think that's why you see guys shifting, or teams shifting.
Because the shift is in the infield, but in the outfield they're playing for him to go the other way.
That's right. And so that spray chart probably shows ground balls to the right side of the field.
Especially with that curveball of Stratton.
Exactly.
Eighth pitch of the at-bat coming up here for Hosmer, battling away. And that pitch up, and he chases it. A 91-mile-an-hour fastball, but up around the hands, and that's strikeout number 2 for Chris Stratton. 2 down.
You know what, guys? That's pitching right there. We mentioned it last half inning, Tony, before you were here. He's only throwing 90, 91, but look where he's throwing it. He's going both sides of the plate. He's getting in Christian Villanueva's kitchen one time up. He's going up the ladder and into Eric Hosmer, trying to get the hands through. Can't get the barrel of the bat on it. That is just bottom line pitching right there.
When a guy isn't throwing upper 90s, mid 90s, it seems like everybody is now. You got to be able to move the ball all 4 quadrants of the plate, in, out, up, down.
Down the right field line, it is Belt over towards the stands, and he wanted to play. Well, back into the seats. Stratton going off the backside of the mound in the midst of a meeting with himself right now. There's 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Glad you joined us tonight from Petco Park. Padres glad to be home. A series in Houston and a series in Colorado. Great pitching on the last road trip for the Padres.
That was fun to watch.
Sure was, especially in Houston.
Yes.
That's the defending world champs. Swing and a miss, and Villanueva strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Stratton. 3-0 Giants through 4. Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Sequan Casino, opening in 2019 is Sequan's brand new 300-room resort and hotel. By Tough Turtle Turf, a full landscape design company. And by Nissan. Take on the unexpected with Nissan's available intelligent safety shield technologies. Innovation that excites. On to the 5th inning, where the Giants on top 3-0, and more Jordan Lyles. Pitch the 4th, back out there for the 5th, and dealing with Buster Posey. Started tonight, coming into the game at 389. Leading the National League in that category. Buster off to a terrific start this year. Mitchell on the hook in this game. Started for the Padres tonight. 3 innings, 3 runs, 4 hits. He walked 5 and struck out 2. Lyles was stretched out as a starter during the spring. Although I don't know how long, Mud, you probably have a better idea than anybody. How long do you go where you haven't been starting and have been stretched out before you can't really go that far anymore? I mean, a week or two? I mean, we're into, what is it, April the 12th now?
Yeah, I would say you're pretty accurate. You know, used in short spurts, he keeps in pretty good shape. He gets his throwing into the bullpen even when he's not throwing on a certain night. So I'm saying he's good for around 40 to 50 pitches maybe, if that answers your question.
Yeah.
Maybe a time around the lineup. That's the luxury I think the Padres have in Lyles. He's been in the starting rotation before in the past. He can go an inning or 2. And with more reps out there, you just stretch him out a little bit more. If he keeps pumping the zone like he's been doing, he's going to have success.
Franchi Cordero in center makes the catch for the first out here of the 5th inning. You know, Lyles kind of that swing guy, the guy that can come in and perhaps be a spot starter for you too at this point, I would say.
I think coming out of the bullpen, it can really turn guys around because there's really not a lot of time you want to really try to set up hitters. And I think we've seen it there where he just pounds the fastball, getting ahead. He's being aggressive also, which Andy Green likes to see with the breaking stuff. I mean, look at that. He's just coming right after him.
Yeah, I think coming out of the bullpen, like you said, it forces you to be on the attack as opposed to trying to set guys up and wasting pitches here and there. You don't really have the time to do that.
This one grounded towards third, being a Waivers throw off balance and dug out on the other side by Hosmer. How many times have we seen that this season already from Eric Hosmer? Digging it out of the dirt at first base, 2 down.
Oh, there's gold over there at their first base. Villanueva on the run, the flip throw. Now Hosmer gets in a good position. Pick it.
Looks from the ground up.
There's a reason why he's got that gold label on that Rawlings glove.
It's very sound over there when you watch him with his footwork.
2 down for Brandon Crawford, who's been on twice. Walk in the first, single in the third. Picks up that outside corner.
I'd like to see that.
Yep. Winter's giving him a call there.
Yeah. Stay out there, right?
Going by him at 95. Lyles has that too.
It doesn't happen as much anymore, but if you got that strike maybe 15, probably more like 20 years ago now, catchers would just keep going further and further and further out, see what the umpire would give them. Now umpires are graded. It's a little bit tougher to get away with that
now. I always liked it when Eric Gregg was behind the plate.
I knew you were going to say that. I had a feeling.
You're talking on deck circle to on deck circle. Throw it up there, take your chances.
If the catcher's glove didn't move, it was a strike. It's always go back to that Cleveland Marlins World Series.
Levon Hernandez, right?
Levon was just making a living in the right-handed batter's box and the left-hander's batter's box.
That is strike 3. Second strikeout for Jordan Lyles, looking good coming out of the pen tonight. Giants 7-3 lead. baseball, and Ohtani is at it again with the bases loaded on a nice 7-mile-an-hour pitch. He turns it around and gaps it to right center field and clears the bases with a triple. This guy is amazing.
He's doing some things that we have not seen. Well, at least I've never seen in my lifetime.
You know, remember all the hype in spring training about, oh, this guy's going to be overmatched. This guy, you know, what's up with him? When's he gonna... Wasn't it the same about Ichiro too when he first came?
It was. It was. I remember that very well. Everybody, he had a rough spring, and as soon as the season started, he never stopped hitting.
Right.
And that's why, you know, you can't put, whether it's positive or it's negative, you can't put a whole bunch of stock in what happens in spring training.
And that can be said for everybody. I mean, I guess that's why it's so hard to evaluate guys in spring training. I mean, you just can't tell guys. Some guys dominate spring training. And you're like, oh, this guy's going to be great this year. Not the case. And as you said, it goes the other way, too. And of course, Spangenberg leading it off here in the 5th inning.
It'll be amazing to see how the opposing pitchers go after him if they can find holes in his swing.
On the line at first, and Belt will take it to the bag.
You know, we just saw that clip, Tony, and it looked like it was a fastball in.
It was.
And you know what? It's weird. You know, he's got a lot of movement. You know, he kind of drifts, kind of like Ichiro does. It's almost like he adjusts with his body to get his hands through.
See, that's the thing is, even with Ichiro, when he was early in his career, it looks like they are drifting, but I think when that front foot hits the ground, their drift stops, and the swing then takes place. So it's easy to watch them lean and think that they're drifting towards the ball, but if you watch them from the side in slow-mo, when that front foot hits the ground, they stop. There's no more drifting. So now the swing can come through like it's supposed to.
Would it be fair to say also that when that front foot is down, and but the key is that their hands still stay back?
Yes. That's why, you know, I haven't seen him hit a breaking ball yet, but I'd be pretty surprised if he wasn't, you know, successful hitting breaking balls. I know Ichiro, that's how they tried to attack him early on, thinking he's drifting, let's get him out front. But his hands stayed back so well, and his path was so good, it didn't really matter.
I always had the illusion that he was on the move and on his way out of the box. But every time coming up with those 200 hits every year. I mean, it's incredible.
Now, don't get me wrong. There's times where they will drift and be on their front foot, and they're good enough to actually still get hits that way, but that's not the case most of the time.
Galvis earning a walk, the second allowed by Chris Stratton. One down here in the 5th inning. For him to hit as well as he has is amazing to me. I mean, that part of it is stunning to me. I mean, and what do you do? I mean, how do you work him into the lineup on a regular basis while you got him in the rotation on a regular basis?
And he's starting to, you know, speak a little bit about wanting to play more. But when you look at it, I think the Angels are doing it right. He still gets the 5 days of rest in between, like he was back at home. And their start the day before he gets his start, they bench him, and the day after they bench him as well. So I think that's really the route you're going to have to go for 162 games. I'm not going to say he can't do it, but it seems really tough to get him through a year, especially with the type of investment that they've put in.
I'm not concerned, but it'll be interesting to see all the hype each and every day. You know, like as a starter, after your start, you know, the press talks to you, and you're good to go. The next day, you kind of just kick back. Not for Ohtani. No. He's going to have press hounding him all the time regarding his hitting, his pitching, his hitting. It's going to be nonstop.
To me, I think the pitching is going to be sustainable. You just look at his stuff. Yeah. I mean, he's 98 to 100
splitty
with the split, and that's the one thing. You know, there's been some comparisons to him and Nomo. Nomo didn't have 98 in the tank.
Right.
So that changes the whole scheme of that split finger when he throws it. It's a different ball game.
It is off the table, too.
It is completely falling off, right? I think the hitting is going to be probably the issue at some point, because he's not getting those everyday reps, because they got to sit him down for a couple of days to allow him to rest his arm. But certainly he's doing things that we've never seen before.
1 out, 1 on. Carlos Asuaje batting here. Padres trailing 3-0. Stratton from the stretch picks up that outside corner.
See where Buster Posey is? He wants it inside right. Big target. Catches it on the outside corner and gets the call.
Seems like a lot of times you don't get the call in that instance. Stratton did.
You see a lot of guys get frustrated with that particular call, but ultimately it's still a strike even though he missed a spot.
I think catchers will get that call that way rather than the other way where they have to reach across and get it.
I think you're right.
Colton Brewer, who is just recalled today from El Paso, may make his major league debut here tonight. He's warming up in the pen right now. 2-2 to Swahe. And it's popped up foul, out of play.
Yeah, I can tell you. I mean, I can't read minds, but he knows the score of the game. He knows that Jordan Lyles has been in the game. The spot's going to be coming up. Colton Brewer's out there. His heart's got to be pumping. Right?
Absolutely. He was called up. He tossed 2 scoreless innings in a relief appearance in El Paso day before yesterday, so available tonight as he was called up today. 2-2 is outside.
I don't think there is anything that can replicate the nerves you have for your first appearance at the big league level. There's nothing that you can compare to it.
I couldn't even spit.
I could barely, my legs could barely
They were
stop
numb.
shaking.
Mine were numb.
I couldn't feel them, exactly. I couldn't even feel them in my at bat against Brandon Webb.
8th pitch of the at bat coming up for Swahe. And he'll foul it back and he'll see another pitch. Good at bat here for Carlos.
For pitching, I couldn't even imagine. I mean, you have the ball the whole time.
Yes.
So there's
and
no.
I made my debut in Cincinnati, Old Riverfront Stadium, and the first thing when I told the rubber for my warm-ups, I looked down at the rubber and I said, I imagine all the great pitchers who have stood right here on this mound. Those World Series, the big red machines.
Close pitch, called ball 4, and down to first base goes Swahe. So back-to-back walks allowed by Stratton, and it's timeout to answer. Valley View Casino trivia question. Question tonight: which current Padre made his MLB debut against the Giants and also recorded his first career hit 2 days later? And the answer is, gentlemen standing in the box right now, Austin Hedges. His debut was on May 4th of 2015, and his first hit 2 days later on May the 6th.
But the fact that you were able to think all about all of that means you were a little more calm than I was.
Really?
My head was racing.
Why are you thinking about all that stuff then?
Well, there's a reason why I was down 2-0 before I even threw a strike. I'm thinking about Tom
overload.
Seaver and Don Gullett.
Don't think, just throw. You can only hurt the ball club. Jeez.
And I most certainly did that.
Wow. 2 on 1 away, an opportunity here for the Padres. They got the tying run at the plate. And Austin Hedges has 2 home runs on the year. Big swing there. He was thinking home run right there.
He had a hanger right there. That looked like a slider out of the hand of Stratton. There it is.
That's that grade A cement mixer. I think the only thing that really saved Stratton right there was that it was away enough for Hedgie to not really get to it.
I think I wasn't your pitching coach. You look into the big leagues.
Yeah.
But don't think about anything. Don't even think.
Would you have dropped the line, hey, breathe through your eyelids?
No, I just would have said, Mud, just don't think about anything. That would have been my only message.
See ball, throw ball.
Right.
That's exactly what I did.
Look at the catcher. Don't look at the rubber and try to figure out who's pitched there in the past. I don't care.
Louis Tiant.
I know.
World Series, Sox Reds.
70th pitch for Stratton, and this one fouled off to the right.
Oh, you could see Austin wanted to drive that ball the opposite way, it looked like.
Saw Matt Caesar waiting on deck. He's been under the weather last week or so, but feeling better and available tonight. So he's going to pinch hit in Jordan Lyle's spot. There's Caesar. Ooh, Close pitch again, a little bit high.
Buster Posey brought that down about a good foot and a half.
That was a little league-like frame, bringing it all the way down.
Yeah, kind of lowered his body as well.
On the ground down the line at third, a foul ball. Another close one down there at third. There's been a few from Mike Machlinski down there at third.
Oh, wow. And remember, once again, it's not where it lands beyond the bag. It's if it goes over the bag. That look right there looks like it was a little bit more foul than it looked initially.
Just trying to get out of the way of that ball while making the call at the same time. Never an easy task.
He made that call pretty calm and collected too as he got out of the way of that baseball.
Full count now with 1 out of the inning.
It's been a good at bat here by Austin Hedges.
Good speed on the bases. Wonder if they start the runners here. Full count, 1 out. 25th pitch of the inning coming up. And a grounder foul outside of third. Padres trailing 3-0.
I think the only thing that would prevent manager Andy Green from pushing the runners here is the fact that they're down 3-0, and Austin Hedges can be a strikeout victim.
Can't guarantee contact.
Can't.
A lot of signs right there. And if you're thinking first sign after 2, he went 2-1 in, that'd be fastball in. And Austin has been having a little trouble getting that bat out in front, getting jammed a little bit, and Stratton has been pitching in effectively to the righties.
75th pitch of the night coming up for Chris Stratton, and they're going back and forth as to what they want to do.
That last sequence I saw slider.
If it's the second sign.
Exactly.
Elvis at second, is Suaje at first, 1 down. Payoff pitch. And it's grounded foul outside of third.
Slider's supposed to be down and away there. Kind of left it middle.
Yeah, you speed up his bat. That could spell trouble.
He's already hit a fastball in, foul, barely. So you wonder if Stratton is reluctant to go back in there with a fastball unless he's confident he can get it all the way in there.
10th pitch of the at-bat coming up here for Hedges. In this inning, Galvis, Suaje, and Hedges, they've had some long at-bats against Stratton. And they're really struggling as to what they want to do here. It's been a back and forth. In a normal year, I'd imagine by now Posey would have gone out there to talk to him, but
you never know. A cross-up could happen too with all those signs. Right?
Off to the right, sure.
You know, if you're not on the same page, you're stepping off 2 or 3 times and you get a series of signs. There's always a chance of crossing up your catcher.
And now the restricted visits. I mean, now it's something you don't see those guys. I mean, all the time they'd be going out there. As Galvis sits second, Suaje at first, 1 out, tying run. At the plate, Padres batting here in the 5th. Grounder foul.
What do you think, Muddy? Stratton doesn't seem as confident to go back in there with that fastball.
No, after he hit that one foul, like you said.
He doesn't want any part of it.
And you know what? Austin's doing a good job of fouling off the off-speed pitches.
Yeah.
That was a changeup right there.
12th pitch of the at-bat coming up here now for Austin Hedges. In the air to left field, where Hunter Pence is waiting. Makes the catch, and the runners will stay where they're at. Galvis at second, as Suaje at first. A 12-pitch at bat, but Stratton wins the battle.
See, he finally got enough courage to go back in there. And to his credit, he made the pitch. He got it in there enough. He had shown Austin Hedges enough off-speed pitches away where this fastball, and he really missed his spot over the middle. He got away with that fastball.
Now, Tony, is that maybe a case of Austin being a little too long on the swing and not getting the hands through quickly on that inner third two-seamer?
It may have been. He may have assumed that ball, especially because he'd seen the breaking ball and the changeup before, just got a little outside of the baseball instead of staying inside it a little bit more.
Hey, he battled, man.
He did.
2 down, first and second, and Matt Caesar, the pinch hitter.
That's definitely a pitch that if Austin Hedges doesn't know it now, when he looks at it after the game, that's a pitch he wants back.
2 for 7, and largely coming off the bench. Matt Caesar in those at bats, and Tardy on that cut, 1-1. Last season against the Giants in the season series, .364 average. 8 for 22 last year with 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run in San Francisco.
I need to ask Matt what he does to get his forearms looking like that.
Wow.
Jeez.
On the ground towards short, Crawford will go the easy way to second for the force out. That wraps up the bottom of the 5th. To the 6th we go. 3-0 Giants.
You could see it on his face when he came in today, as you can with most guys when they come up for the first time, and threw the ball really well. Not many outings, obviously. I think the last outing he had, he punched out the side. Really good cutter, really good curveball, and real stuff.
Andy Green talking about Colton Brewer making his major league debut tonight, guys. He's a little bit nervous. He seemed calm in the clubhouse today, but he's definitely going to be having all those butterflies that you guys were talking about earlier. Whether or not he can feel his legs, I would say probably not. Signed in the offseason by the Padres, had a nice spring training, had 2 outings in El Paso, and now he's getting a chance to do it here in the big leagues, guys.
All right, Scan, thanks very much. Well, there it is, the first pitch of his major league career, and it's a strike on the outside corner. First batter he'll face in the big leagues is Hunter Pence.
95-mile-an-hour cutter.
Right? That's ridiculous. Not fair.
6'4", 230. That's a keeper from Dallas, Texas.
Signed by the Padres as a minor league free agent in November. Grounder back past him up the middle, ranging is Galvis. His throw to first is in time. Wow! Freddie Galvis from back of second base does the spin and fires to first in time to get Pence. We'll see here if the Giants are going to challenge this. It was bang bang at first.
There's the cutter beat into the ground, and Hunter Pence realizes he's got to go, but there's Galvis, the whirling dervish, and then the nice stretch.
They're going to challenge this, are the Giants. And Hunter Pence wasn't entirely sure. He looked into the dugout to help his manager, Bruce Bochy.
That was close. A fine play by Freddie Galvis, ranging up the middle, spin, turn, throw. And it's nice to have a long first baseman.
Yep. Everybody did what they were supposed to do on this play. I mean, not much more the defense of the Padres could do.
I think he's going to be safe.
Yeah, me too. Yep, definitely.
This looks to be a play that'll be overturned. The call on the field was out. Tim Timmons, the first base umpire. The crew chief, Mike Winters, on the headset. And
whether Hunter Pence is safe or out on this particular play, he doesn't look very good at the plate. I mean, cutter away.
Yep.
He's in the bailing in the dugout.
It's been overturned. Challenge won by Bruce Bochy and the Giants. So a leadoff infield hit for Hunter Pence, his second hit of the night. And that'll bring up Gregor Blanco.
You know, when we shot Bruce Bochy right there, even before, you know, everybody was settled before this at bat, he gave a quick sign to third base coach Ron Wotus. You never know, something could be on early in the count. You got a young pitcher out there who's trying to fire strikes.
Yeah.
Maybe something, just maybe, could be put on.
Gregor Blanco popped out to third base in the first and then popped out into a double play on an incredible play by Austin Hedges. Padres catcher was back in the third. That's a strike, and it evens at 1-1. High strike at that.
Something you're probably going to see from pitchers all across the league is that high fastball, high strike coming into play now, with launch angle being so popular amongst hitters. Trying to lift that ball in the air. And a cutter really at that velocity, when it's up in the zone for a lefty and it's barreling in on it, it's a tough pitch to get to.
Colton Brewer last year in the Yankees organization pitched in A-ball, AA, and AAA a year ago. It's Tampa, Trenton, and Scranton Wilkes-Barre. Originally a fourth-round pick by the Pirates in 2011.
That's a good pitch there. Is that pitch
That's
you're
that
talking
high
about?
cutter. It looks so good. We call it chocolate mousse. Looks so good, but so bad for you. Balls looks like I can get to this pitch, and by the time your barrel is in there, you're like, oh, I can't get to it.
Runner goes at first, but that's ball four. And the first walk allowed here by Brewer. As down to second base goes Pence.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
2 on, nobody out. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Chris Stratton. Struck out and grounded out first 2 plate appearances. Now trying to bunt. He punched at it for strike 1. He has thrown 81 pitches through the first 5 innings, and now he and his third base coach are going to get together.
Ron Wotus used to be the bench coach for many years for the Giants, now patrolling third base coach's box.
Two on, nobody out here for San Francisco on the top of the 6th inning. Took the bunt off, and now he takes strike 2.
A little gamesmanship going on. First pitch, Padres run the wheel play. Galvis coming to third. Villanueva's crashing. I believe that's what that meeting was about between Stratton and Wotus. If you see the wheel play, pull back. But what the Padres did differently in the second pitch was Galvey faked like he was going to do the will play. Everybody stayed put.
Thinking that maybe you can pull back and swing and try to hit
Take
that
a
hole.
slash, that's right.
And the bunt down, foul, and that is strike 3. So Stratton unable to move the runners along, and that's out number 1 of the 6th inning. So there's your first career strikeout for Colton Brewer in the big leagues. Not your average strikeout, but it counts.
Looks like the dugout's trying to get the ball back after the strikeout. His first career, they threw up, they're getting it back now.
Trade out of baseball with a fan, it looks like. One out, first and second, top of the order, Joe Panik. There is strike 1 to Panik. A walk in the first, fly to left in the second, fly out to center in the 4th inning. Field playing for him to go the other way as they move Cordero into left center. Line towards Cordero, and that's in for a base hit into center field. Pence is stopped, the throw is cut off, and a throw to third, and just back safely is Hunter Pence. Villanueva wants this to be challenged at third base. He yells into the dugout to Andy Green.
That was unbelievable concentration by Hosmer. This ball flips off of Galvey's glove, still catches it. That's going to be a close play. Looks like he just gets in there. Pence almost ran through the stop sign by Wotus, but caught him from the corner of his eye, it looked like.
Yeah, I don't think initially Eric saw him off the bag so much because he was well off the bag, past the bag at third base.
I think Haas coming across from first to the mound was looking at the third base coach, saw the holdup sign there. So it probably caught him off guard a little bit.
Bases loaded for Brandon Belt. Takes a fastball away. Slide to right, walked in, and hit by a pitch. It's 1 grand slam to his credit. Started with the infield hit for Hunter Pence. The walk for Blanco. Stratton struck out, a single by Panik. Bases filled with Giants here in the 6th inning, already on top 3-0. Strike call. Down to the top of the zone again. 2-2.
Yeah, that's a legit strike. Cutter at 92.
You got to be a special hitter to do something with that pitch right there. That's that cutter. It is so hard to get to, and because it's at your eye level, you feel like you can get to it.
Villanueva at third on the infield fly rule in effect, able to make the catch for the second out of the inning.
Remember, guys, we talked about Hunter Pence after that base hit up the middle by Joe Panik rounding third. He's going. He's not even looking up. He got the stop sign. See how far off he is? But by the time Eric Hosmer realized it, as you mentioned, Tony, you said he saw the coach, right, holding him up.
Yeah.
He ran it, and then he just didn't get it there in time.
By the time he was able to get his bearings underneath her as far as, oh man, I need to throw this ball to third, it gave Pence the time he needed to get back.
Well, McCutcheon, and I don't know if that just got crossed up there or what, to his right to block that on the breaking ball.
Is that the first breaking ball we've seen?
I think that's the first curveball we've seen, yes.
McCutcheon with 1 grand slam on his resume. Batting with Pence at third, Blanco at second, Panik at first. That is strike 1, 1-1.
You know, these giant hitters, Tony, really don't have a lot to go on probably when they see Colton Brewer going out there.
A lot of, usually in that case, the advantage is for the pitcher. This isn't an ordinary hitter though that Brewer's facing right here.
Colton Brewer making his major league debut. Pitches way out of a jam here in the top of the 6th inning. Bases filled with Giants. Fouled back, 2-2. McCutchen tonight has been aboard twice, a single and a walk. He struck out in the 4th inning. Colton Brewer, the 3rd Padres pitcher of the night, starter. And Mitchell went the first 3, allowing the 3 runs the Giants have. Jordan Lyles, 2 shutout innings, allowing no hits. He's great again. On the ground to 3rd. Villanueva's got a very long throw, and it'll get away. 1 run is in, and here comes another. 2 runs in for the Giants, who take a 5-0 lead. By the time Villanueva corralled that back a 3rd, he was a long way away. And he can't get it there in the air, and it gets by Hosmer. They're charged to Villanueva at 3rd base. No RBI, and the Giants have a 5-0 lead.
Yeah, you knew that was going to be a tough play, especially fielding it behind the bag, and you have to consider who's running for the Giants. McCutchen can get down the line. Good throw gets him, but that's a tough spot to be able to get your feet under you and make a strong throw across the diamond.
You know what I was looking at, guys? I was going possibly 2nd base on that, because with the positioning of Asuaje prior to that, he was shading over towards 2nd base. Couldn't really tell you, in all honesty, how quickly Joe Panik got down that line to get to 2nd base.
That's a good point.
That gives Buster Posey a chance here with 2 in scoring position.
I mean, ultimately, a good throw would have gotten McCutchen there, but the easier throw may have been to 2nd base.
The pitch there, that froze Posey.
And Grant, you know, chances are with runners on base, 2 outs, crack of the bat, they're going, and there's a force anywhere, they're going as quickly and hard as they can.
That's correct.
So Panik may have been on top of that bag very, very quickly, not enabling Villanueva to go that way to 2nd base.
Brewer has thrown 27 pitches in the inning. Not out of it yet here, battling Buster Posey. Posey coming into tonight's game hitting at .389 to begin the year. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Colton Brewer making his major league debut. 25 years of age, from Dallas, Texas. On the ground and by the dive of Villanueva down the left field corner. Scoring is Panik. Here comes McCutchen. He'll score. And to 2nd with a 2-run double goes Buster Posey, and the Giants have a 7-0 lead.
Buster came into today being the hottest hitter on the Giants, in the Giants lineup. Looks like a cutter, top of the zone. Posey doesn't try to do too much with it. Is able to get that ball up in the zone and takes a nice easy swing, gets it down the 3rd base line.
You know, he makes it look so easy.
He does.
His swing, he's got just good bat control all the way around, always have. And you make a good point. He never gives the illusion when he's at the plate like he's in trouble. I mean, he'll swing at some bad pitches. We've seen that too, but my gosh, more times than not, this guy's been clutch.
A 2-run double keeps this inning going for the Giants. Been a 4-run inning to this point, and it'll bring up Evan Longoria. single in the third, a 1-for-3 game with an RBI. And he takes strike one. So 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Giants. No runs, a hit, and an error for the Padres. And an error in this inning. Christian Villanueva's throwing error led directly to 2 runs. Now a base hit the other way for Longoria. Posey going to be waved around. The throw from Perella. Now he's going to be stopped. He will head back to third. Initially waved. Perella got to it pretty quickly. So on the brakes and stays at third. Does Buster Posey on the single by Evan Longoria.
I don't think a lot of people pay attention to the third base coach. You see Longoria hits a ball right through that shift on the right side, but with Wotus putting up the stop sign so late, look how deep down the line he is so that Buster can pick him up. That's pretty late. Yet because Wotus is so far down the line, it gives him the ability to throw up that late stop sign and the runner still be able to see it.
9th member of the Giants to bat here in the 6th inning, and it's Brandon Crawford. Crawford with a walk in the first, singled to left in the third, and struck out looking in the 5th. His action in the Padres pen as it is Robbie Erlin who is now up in the pen. This has become a 33 pitch inning for Colton Brewer in his major league debut. Slide foul down the left field line, out of play.
I don't know if I've seen any type of changeup from Colton Brewer.
And foul out ahead of that was Crawford.
I think you're right. I've seen the slider and the cutter, or maybe a curveball. I don't know which whatever you want to call it. 82 to 84 to cutters anywhere from 91 to 94.
Outside for ball 3. So full count here with 2 down in the inning. Posey at third, Longoria at first. And that's ball 4 to load the bases. So that's the second walk given up by Brewer of the inning, and here comes Andy Green. So the major league debut for Colton Brewer. Not getting much help from his defense as it turns out in the inning. A big error committed in the inning, but lots of base runners, and so far a 4-run inning for the Giants. It'll be Robbie Erlin coming in. Giants have a 7-0 lead. drives in a pair of runs as a 3-run first for the Giants. Then this pop-up hit, a great play by Austin Hedges, who turns it into a double play. And then a grounder to third base here. Christian Villanueva with a very long throw. Can't get it to first. 2-run score. And then 2 more. Buster Posey out of the reach of Villanueva down to the left field corner. Scores McCutcheon and Panic. And the Giants have opened things up here on top 7-0. Chris Stratton still in the game right now. The Giants starter. 5 innings, just the 1 hit, no earned runs. Ryan Mitchell on the hook in this game, went 3 innings and had trouble with the base on balls again. 5 walks. Hunter Pence and Buster Posey leading the way offensively for the Giants tonight. Pitching change for the Padres here in the 6th inning as the Giants have batted around. Robbie Erlin now in the game.
Robbie's been throwing the ball extremely well, his 5th game. 7 strikeouts in 8 innings. He's been around the plate attacking the zone. Only 1 free pass. No room for error right here.
In the air to right field, where Perella moves over towards the line and makes the catch that finally ends the inning. 4-run inning has the Giants on top 7-0. Giants have the lead. Time now for our San Diego fans of the game.
College night, Petco Park. The cha-cha in the background, rocking the 24-ouncer there.
Turn up.
On to the bottom of the 6th inning. Long wait for Chris Stratton. But he's all right with it because he's now got a 7-run lead to work with.
Yeah, just pound the zone. I mean, the same mind frame, right? Nothing, but still. Try not to nitpick and go right after these hitters. Tony, we always talk about pitchers in games like this. As a hitter, when you are trailing like this 7-0, is there a different way of going about, maybe a different type of blueprint as opposed to other at-bats?
I think in these type of games you have to remain focused. You got to keep treating the at-bats like you have been all game.
Pence in left takes care of out number 1 at the bottom of the 6th inning.
So in essence, never give away an at-bat.
That's what the game becomes. Once the score gets like this 7-0, you have to really lock in so that you're not giving away at-bats, because ultimately those at-bats affect you and they affect your team. So you got to be able to step into that box and have the same concentration you've had throughout the game.
Giving away at-bats can create bad habits.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
1 down here in the 6th inning. Jose Perella will take ball 1.
And really it works both ways. Even when your team is up 8-0, it's easy to get into that box and kind of relax and, you know, kind of go through the motions. You got to continue to keep your foot on the gas pedal and remain focused on the task at hand.
You're a busy guy these days now.
I'm wearing a few hats right now.
This guy has become a media superstar.
Hardest working guy in San Diego.
Unbelievable. Congratulations on your new radio show.
Thank you.
That's going to be fun for you.
It is. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Gwen and LO show, or I guess it's called the Chris and Gwen show right now, but it's on 97.3 The Fan.
Good for you.
We're going to have a lot of fun. Talk all sports. Obviously, talk some Padres. Really looking forward and excited about it, too.
Today was the first day, yes?
Today was the first day. I only got to spend about an hour on the show, though, because I had to get ready for this job.
What time slot are you going to be?
3 to 7.
This game kind of gets in the way of stuff.
Stupid baseball games.
Now one down for Jose Perella.
But let's be honest, it's not really work. We get to talk about baseball.
Sure.
In my case, I get to talk about baseball and all other sports.
That's strike 3. Perella becomes strikeout victim number 4 for Stratton. Well, the Padres hit 2 home runs in a single game. Tweet at Fox Sports San Diego. I'll do that again. At Fox Sports San Diego. Using the hashtag #HitsYouGetsYou for your chance to win 4 new Hankook tires. Brought to you by Evans Tire and Service Centers.
Don, I wasn't gonna put you on blast, but maybe you were afraid of Mark over here calling you out right there.
Fouled off to the left out of
that
play.
copy.
Fox Sports ST using the hashtag #HitsYouGetsYou.
Okay.
You got it?
Got it.
All right, good. Eric Hosmer 0 for 2. He has popped out and struck out. On the ground, right side. Panik at second. Will throw out Hosmer. It's an easy inning for Stratton in the 6th. 7-0. Giants on top. Padres baseball brought to you by Pacific Surfliner. By Petco, where the pets go. And by Mozzie Heating and Air, San Diego's choice for heating, cooling, and solar. Well, it's been all Giants so far tonight. San Francisco on top 7-0, out hitting the Padres 8-1 as we move to the top half of the 7th inning. Robbie Erlin staying in the game. He got the final out in the bottom of the 6th and deals with Gregor Blanco to begin things here in the 7th inning. Blanco has popped out to third, popped out into a double play, and a great play by Austin Hedges in the 3rd. Walked and scored in the 6th inning. And Erlin really has done a terrific job coming out of the pen for the Padres.
He's got good arm action. He's got good break on his breaking ball. He's got confidence. You can see it in his body language.
On the ground, and a fair ball down to the left field corner. Spangenberg going to dig it out. Blanco headed for 2, and he will get there. Sliding into second base with a double.
Looks like Robbie wanted to peck away at that outside corner, and that's just a case of Blanco just swatting that bat down and away. Villanueva off the bag. Look at this pitch right here. On contact just below the belt buckle. And with the way he hit that ball, Christian well off the line, the one hopper down the left field line for the double.
So a runner at second base with nobody out here in the 7th, and showing bunt is Stratton. Gets it down, a good one. Hedges clears the runner and fires to first base for the out. Sacrifice is complete. 2-3, and Blanco moves over to third base.
Perfectly executed. You want it done quickly and efficiently. Did you see how that ball was dead and perfectly off the end of the bat? Nice level bat. As soon as that ball is down towards the ground, the secondary lead for the runner at second, you are off and running. Perfectly done by Stratton.
Infield in all the way around here for the Padres, with Blanco getting his lead, and that'll bounce in. Hedges had a clank off his shoulder, wasn't sure entirely where it was, ended up in front of him.
I think
blocked by Hedges.
I think he got a break. I think that ball may have hit the hitter as well. Check out this breaking ball in the dirt. And then it hits Panic. And then Robbie Erlin is all over it, checking the runner.
Ooh, a strike call there and a pitch away. Panic didn't much care for the call. We'll see why. Infield in with Blanco at third. One down here in the top of the 7th. And a chopper towards second. That'll keep the runner at third. Suaje to first base for the out. So Blanco remains at third, not going on contact there. There are 2 outs in the 7th inning. We'll bring up Brandon Belt.
Robbie really did a nice job on that last pitch, just pounding at the zone down. Hence the chopper and the easy 4-3 play.
And Belt has been aboard twice tonight without the benefit of a base hit. He has walked and been hit by a pitch. Gap out there in right center field, with Frenchie Cordero moving over to left center for Belt to go the other way. Runs inside, and it's 3-0. Robbie Erlin, the 4th pitcher used tonight by the Padres. Colton Brewer made his major league debut. 2/3 of an inning. Gives up 4 runs, but all the runs are unearned. That is ball 4, and Belt down to first base. There's Brewer looking on after his major league debut. First and third now with 2 outs in. Andrew McCutchen coming up.
You know, you saw Colton on the bench there, kind of just taking it all in and going over his outing. And I'm sure he'll have some discussions, watch video with pitching coach Darren Balsley.
The Giants with runners in scoring position tonight, 4 for 14. They've had their chances and cashed in quite a bit. To the tune of 7-0 here in the 7th inning, and they've out hit Padres 9-1 in the game. Jammed him, and he fouls it off to the right. 0-2.
Only 1 hit for San Diego. That's Clayton Richard,
who, by the way, as a pinch hitter, is 3 for 4 now in his career.
It's 750, isn't it? It's pretty good.
The Giants have had good offense, and they've had good pitching. There's a swing and a miss, and McCutchen strikes out to end the inning. 7th inning stretch with the Giants on top 7-0. Revisit our keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Throws Stratton a curve. Well, he's known for throwing the curveball, but in all actuality, he's been the one on his game. 90-91, all quadrants of the plate, along with that curveball. 6 innings, only 1 hit. We mentioned it, Clayton Richard, pinch hit single, and then no giant mistakes. Well, there's been a throwing error. Giants have out-hit them 9-1. After all told, we go to the 7th, and the Giants lead 7-0.
Christian Villanueva leading it off here in the last of the 7th inning. Popped up. Coming back is Posey, but he won't have a play. And for Stratton here, working deep into this game, working into the bottom of the 7th inning at 93 pitches in his outing. His career best is 6 2/3 innings. He's done that 3 times. Look at the breakdown. That'll drop in there for strike 2. As you said earlier, he's been a game well pitched, and he is pitching, not overpowering anybody.
That's the key. He's not overthrowing at all.
Villanueva goes the other way, but right in the neighborhood of McCutcheon for out number 1 of the last of the 7th inning.
Don, it's all about pitching, right? Hitting your spots. We are in the bottom of the 7th. We talked about the pitch count. Watch the location of this pitch. Look at Posey's glove. Buster doesn't have to move his glove. And with the swing of Villanueva, it's all upper body. He doesn't get anything behind it. He has no choice but to try to take that ball to right field. Hence the easy fly ball to McCutcheon.
1 out here in the 7th, and Corey Spangenberg will take strike 1. Corey's 0 for 2. He's popped out to 3rd and grounded out to 1st. Spangenberg getting the start in left field tonight. Third start of the year for Stratton. Did not have a win coming into tonight's outing, and the first time that he's not faced the LA Dodgers this year. 1-1 the record. Giants have had more chances to score too. They have the 7 runs, but they've left 11 men on base. Padres have left 3. And a grounder to second baseman Joe Panik is out number 2 of the inning. The only hit for the Padres in tonight's game, a pinch hit appearance by Clayton Richard. Padres pitcher with a base hit to right field. The only hit they've had tonight. And that was back in the 3rd inning. Pinch hitting at the time for tonight's Padres starter, Brian Mitchell. 2 down for Freddie Galvis.
He's only faced 3 over the minimum up to this point, right? According to my book. Is that right?
I think you're correct. 2 hopper down to 1st. Brandon Belt will take it to the bag, and that is that. In the 7th to the 8th we go. 7-0 Giants.
against the White Sox. Joe Mauer, his 2000th career hit, Tony.
Yeah, fastball, base hit up the middle. I mean, Joe Mauer has been one of the better hitters in our league. Congratulations to him. Cheers on that 2000th hit.
That is a big, big deal, and it's done wonders for his career moving from behind the plate, as we're seeing Buster Posey spend some time away from behind the plate as well. Tony and I working on Padres Live, the post-game show brought to you by Cox Communications. When we see you tonight after the final act, you're going to hear from Andy Green, and we'll get you set for Game 2 of this 4-game series. Don and Mark.
All right, Mike and Tony, thanks very much. Deep short, Galvis plants long throw, and he'll get it there in time. Freddie Galvis from short left field, able to throw out Buster Posey for the first out of the 8th inning.
That's a great play. Deep in the hole. Plant that back foot like a pitcher, straight over the top. And that's a play that everybody can appreciate. Robbie Erlin especially, even though the Padres trail 7-0. You got the flash of the leather out there at shortstop from Freddie Galvis.
Threw a strike over there to first base.
It was a seed, a P-rod, aspirin tablet.
You got other stuff, or
Pellet.
is that it? Evan Longoria has been aboard 3 times, 2 singles. Rich on a fielder's choice, and not overly thrilled with that call. 0-2. In the air to shallow center. Suaje going out and coming. Cordero. 2 down in the inning. Erlin has only given up 1 hit since coming in. He came on in the 6th inning. Pitched the 7th, has the first 2 outs here of the 8th. He's done that on 19 pitches. And now deal with Brandon Crawford, who has been aboard 3 times, 2 walks and a single. What we heard about was the Giants struggling coming into this series, and tonight they have dominated. It's jammed there and flips it foul. 0-2.
Yeah, the slugging percentage and the on-base percentage. 12th in slugging, 15th in on-base. That's not going to do it. But tonight, 1 hit shy of double digits in the hit column.
Towards second, a Suaje. A lot of spin on that. Fires to first just in time to get Brandon Crawford and to end the inning. Played 7.5, 7-0 Giants. On FS1, first and 1, the Rangers take on the reigning AL MVP Jose Altuve and the defending champion Astros. Then at 4,
Mike Trout and the Angels battle the Royals. It all happens Saturday on FS1, or you can always stream it live on Fox Sports Go. 7-0, Giants on top of the Padres as we head to the last of the 8th inning. And a new pitcher after 7 shutout innings from Chris Stratton. Just called up from Sacramento is Derek Law.
Well, you know, Chris Stratton really pitched. That's the bottom line. Hit all his spots, threw up there the breaking ball, both of them. So now he turns it over to Derek Law with a 7-run lead. We've seen it before in the Giant uniform. Last season, 37+ frames, almost a strikeout per inning pitched, but a chance for him to get some work in with the big lead.
Carlos Suaje has flied out to left and walked. Of course, all that was against Chris Stratton. It's a double switch as Nick Hundley, former Padre, now taking over beyond the dish for Buster Posey. So as it turns out now, the pitcher spot will be 4th in the order. Hundley will bat 3rd in the top of the 9th inning. Well, Padres will be glad to see someone other than Chris Stratton. Tremendous stunt. Ended up throwing 101 pitches and retired the last 8 Padres he faced. Only gave up 1 hit. Clayton Richard on a pinch hit single back in the 3rd inning. Suaje, who did walk against Stratton, is a hit here against Law. 3-1.
Law throws a lot of 4-seamers, so mixing that slider. We've seen that. Also a curveball. 93, 94 on the fastball.
Ground ball down the line at first base, and Brandon Belt wins the foot race to the bag for the first out here in the last of the 8th. So 1 down for Austin Hedges.
Tough night for everybody. Pick the stick, huh?
And only 1 hit.
I mean, whoever had Perella, Galvis, or Suaje, you got a point because they got a walk, right?
Right.
And Perella, you can go back to 0 because he struck out in the 6th. That was Tony Gwynn Jr. picking for Mark Sweeney. Who do you have tonight?
I have a Suaje who had the walk.
I'm hoping big things right here. Austin Hedges is my guy tonight.
I feel very deep here on Austin. Check swing foul has him down 1-2.
Are you a big sabermetrics guy when it comes to pick the stick, to pick your guy?
I change every day. I really do. It depends whether it falls in line with what it is I want to say. 1-2. Strike 3 call. Hedges strikes out. And that's 2 down here in the 8th.
Looked like you got him guessing right there. It was a fastball that caught a lot of the plate.
Bobby Erlin is going to hit for himself here. He's pitched so well and going to stay in the game. Did you understand my answer?
Not really.
So if sabermetrics backs up what it is that I want to say as part of the pregame hit, then I'll use it. If it doesn't, it kind of flies in the face of my gut feeling, then I won't use it.
So it's a pretty big feeling, is what you're saying.
Yes.
You lead the league in starts, by the way.
2 down.
We were tied, Pomerantz and I, right?
Yes.
28, I believe.
You are headed in the wrong direction, my fat friend. The 1-2 was outside. 2-2. You had a big lead, and now it's just downward spiral.
I didn't have a big lead.
It's a pretty big lead. Well, you're heading in the wrong direction. 2-2. Strike 3 call. Back-to-back Ks for Derek Law. 1-2-3 inning. 7-0 Giants. As Austin Hedges on a bunt bid here goes flying back to make the catch, and then from his backside turns it into a double play at first base. That was special.
So much going on in that play. Ball wasn't up in the air that long. He had to get rid of the mask, go back there, catch it. And then how about how accurate he was from the seat of his pants and throw to first base.
Did a great job, and play on here to the 9th inning. Robbie Erlin back on the mound again. And coming up, it'll be Hunter Pence. Robbie Erlin has been in this game since the 6th inning. Here he is in the 9th inning.
I'll tell you what, I personally, I root for these guys to do well, right? Not ashamed to say that. Especially Robbie Erlin, what he's been through, the Tommy John surgery, fighting back.
Couldn't be a nicer guy either.
What a good kid. We had a great conversation on the plane the other day, just talking pitching and what he tries to accomplish each and every pitch. I mean, he's getting through his pitches, got good follow through, he's getting good spin on the baseball, and look at, he gets to that ball and gets right back up on that hill. That tells you something. Great tempo.
Pence fouls it off, just staying alive. Gregor Blanco waiting on deck with the Giants batting here in the top of the 9th. Swinging a foul tip, and Hedges held on to it, but home plate umpire said it hit the ground. Hedges said he got it.
Oh, I'm anxious to see this replay because I don't know which way it went. It was a breaking ball, so chances are this ball is going to hit the ground and Austin's going to pick it, and that's the right call.
Yep.
Absolutely. Good call, Mike Winters. It happened so quickly, I really couldn't tell.
Fouled back, and our Pence putting on a battle right here. Leading it off in the 9th inning. Fouls off another one. This one to the upper deck, off to the right. 8th pitch of the at bat coming up. And a swing and a miss. Erlin wins the battle, picks up his 2nd strikeout. Out number 1 of the 9th inning.
That's great rotation and a bad hack.
So 1 out in the 9th inning, and here's Gregor Blanco. Strike in there, 0-1. One pitch to Blanco. Carved that foul to the screen. Walking a double for Blanco in this game. 5 in a row retired right now by Erlin. And that'll straighten him up. Pitch inside.
Yeah.
90 miles an hour.
See if he counters with that breaking ball down and away. Change up. Lefty on lefty. I like it.
To 3rd and off the glove partially, I think, Villanueva trying to go to the backhand, and he gets into left field, and aboard is Blanco with 1 down here in the 9th inning. See how they rule this.
Well, this one he has to go to his right. It's one of those in-between hops. I'm guessing they're going to give him a hit on that one.
It is indeed a base hit. Only the second hit allowed by Erlin since coming into this game. 1 out, 1 on. And Nick Hundley is part of the double switch. Came in to catch last inning. So 7 runs, now 10 hits for the Giants. No errors. Padres no runs, 1 hit and 1 error.
Well, heads up on the left side of the infield with that ground ball, possibly from the curveball from Robbie Erlin to the right-handed hitting Nick Hundley.
Ty Block will be going up against Tyson Ross tomorrow night, game 2 of the series. There's a strike, 3-1. 4-game series between the Padres and Giants. Fan has run onto the field here out in right center field. So I'll take a moment here while the security guards will show this fan out. Game 2 of the series between the Padres and the Giants here tomorrow night. Tyson Ross, who's off to a very good return to the Padres, 1-1 with a 5.25 ERA. Matched up against Ty Block, 1-1 with a 4.11 earned run average. Game 2 of the series gets you started at 6:30 tomorrow night with Game 2 on Fox Sports San Diego.
With the injuries the Giants had to their starting rotation, Ty Block starting opening day for the Giants this year.
1 out, runner at first, and Nick Hundley with a count of 3-1. Popped up, shallow right, Asuaje out, Perella in, and Perella will stagger but make the catch for out number 2. Just got a note from J.P. Nolan, who does such an outstanding job for the Padres Public Relations Department.
Jefferson Patrick.
Padres have never had a game in which the team got 1 hit and it was by a pitcher. This includes pitchers to start the game, relief pitchers that eventually came to bat, or pitchers that pinch hit like Richard did in tonight's game. The last time a team had 1 hit for a game and a pitcher that did not start the game got the only hit was back in 1935.
Wow.
Pittsburgh against Chicago. Mace Brown, pitcher for the Pirates, came in to pitch in relief.
So even though it's a negative for San Diego Padre fans,
we're looking at history. Yeah. One is grounded foul. Walking lead off first by Blanco, not held on by Eric Hosmer at first. The Giants on top, 7-0. On the ground, Asuaje will flip to second base for the force out. That will end the inning. To the bottom of the 9th we go, 7-0. Giants have the lead. Go wherever you are. Download the app to your mobile device and select Fox Sports San Diego. Don't miss any of the action while you're on the go. Fox Sports Go, presented by T-Mobile. And it's on to the last of the 9th inning, the top of the order. Coming up for the Padres, a defensive change for the Giants. Gorkis Hernandez has taken over in right field for the Giants. Derek Law, who enjoyed a 1-2-3/8, back out there for the 9th. And his first pitch of the inning misses up top for ball 1. Frenchie tonight 0 for 3 from the top spot in the Padres order. To left field, but right at Hunter Pence for out number 1 at the bottom of the 9th. Jose Perella. A walk, a ground out, and a strikeout for the Padres right fielder. "12 in a row retired by Giants pitching. Only hit of the night for the Padres coming way back in the 3rd inning and belongs to Clayton Richard. Pinch hit back in the 3rd. Foul and out of play, 1-1. At 1 point tonight, 22,288 were here, 22,288. Popped up right side of the infield. Panic and Belt. And it'll be panic, but equidistant between first and second. Makes the catch for out number 2.
I think that was a little bit more closer to first, actually.
Can't just let it go.
Just a little bit.
2 down in the 9th. And it brings up Eric Hosmer. Hosmer 0 for 3. He'll ground one down the first baseline, foul. Eric has popped out to short, struck out swinging, and grounded out to second. Shifting on him in the infield. Waiting for him to go the other way in the outfield. 0-2. Law has looked very good in his return to the majors.
Very aggressive. And why not with the lead, right? It should be the mindset as you take a look at the Giants defensively.
One-two to Hosmer. Line foul. Now gets a brand new baseball, rubs it up. About to throw his 25th pitch in relief. The starter tonight, Chris Stratton, who went the first 7 innings. 7 shutout innings, 1 hit. Walked 3, struck out 4, and trying to get his first win of the year. Hosmer hits a fly ball to left center field. Blanco and Pence. It'll be Pence, and that's the ball game. A 1-2-3 9th inning. The Padres are held to 1 hit tonight by the Giants, who blanked them. The Giants win this one 7-0. Padres Live is next. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?
All righty, Don, what we see on Padres Live, the post-game show, we'll get inside that clubhouse. Want to hear from Andy Green, his thoughts on what happened after the fight. Had hoped for some momentum, just wasn't to be tonight. And we'll get you set for game 2 of the 4-game set. Tyson Ross going tomorrow. Details in a moment.